My wife and I have 3 kids. They were all born in the same area, and they've all lived in the same house. But it was interesting to notice how, almost from day one, each one of them had his or her very own distinct personality. And that personality hasn't changed. It's grown and developed, but they're all still 3 very distinct children. I think all parents should be fascinated with at least their own children. So I decided to sit down with one of my daughters and learn a little bit more about what intrigues and fascinates her. Okay, it may not be the most fascinating conversation for you, but I loved it, so I hope you'll join in. I'm Brian Johnson, and this is Nobody You Know.
Now, Professor Brian.
So how do we draw a dragon?
Very carefully.
Okay, go ahead, start showing me. What do you do first?
I just start with the head. A line.
Just a line. Why? Okay. Oh, that's the top?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the bump for his eye?
Yeah, this is the bump for his eye.
Okay, let me see here. What do you like about dragons?
They're cool.
They're cool. When did you decide that dragons were cool?
When I first saw them, I like them.
You just saw a dragon and went, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons are part of what group?
Reptile, I think.
Well, but this, yes, okay. If there were real dragons, and some people think there actually might have been dragons. Well, there are stories from England of larger lizards that could get steam coming out of their mouth. Sort of like, there's some beetles that can do that too.
Beetles?
Yeah.
Maybe they're dragons too.
And so if the lizard had the right chemical sacs in there, he could actually breathe it out. So then, if you were living long ago and you saw this lizard and out came steam and you were terrified and you didn't have modern science, you could go, oh no, it's breathing fire! And then you'd have the legend of a fire-breathing dragon. But what I was asking earlier is, what's that group of creatures that dragons belong to? Imaginary
Mythicals.
creatures. Mythicals. You are my mythical girl, aren't you? What's your favorite mythical?
Probably dragon.
Probably dragon. Okay, well that makes sense. That works. I'm going to give him claws here. So what do you know about dragons?
I know that usually they are carnivores and they eat meat.
Okay.
Big.
I think this is going to be my best artwork yet.
Do a big circle for their back leg.
Yes, I kind of have that. Mine's starting to almost look like a dinosaur.
Well, then we need to get to the wings.
Okay, the wings. Do all dragons have wings?
A lot of them do, but not all dragons.
Okay, how do you know which ones have wings?
Because usually they're folded out a little bit.
So, you mean by looking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Since they're all kind of made up, couldn't they all have wings?
Mm-hmm. Some could.
Some could. All right. What else do you know about dragons?
I know.
I need bigger wings. He's a bigger dragon. He needs bigger wings.
I know that some can be sky dragons, some can be normal land dragons with no wings, and some can be sea dragons.
There are sea dragons. Oh, did not know that. And how do you know this?
Because I've seen some before.
You've seen some.
Mostly in movies.
Mostly in movies. What movies?
How to Train a Dragon.
Do you like that one?
Mm-hmm. And I also know one thing.
What?
Some dragons have eyes that are like cat eyes.
Oh, does this one? Kind of. I should have done that. Okay.
Glad we have erasers.
Yes. Erasers are very useful things. Now, this doesn't give you nightmares?
No.
No?
No.
What's the name of the main dragon in How to Train Your Dragon?
Toothless. And the trainer named him that because he can do something where he hides his teeth, but then he can all of a sudden make them come out.
Oh, so he does have teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like to draw dragons with big fangs.
My goodness, you do. Those are huge fangs.
And then the nose, I just do a tiny dot.
Oh, I don't have a nose.
And I have many different kinds of tails.
What are the different kinds of tails?
Sometimes I like drawing scorpion tails.
Oh,
Or
my.
normal, just spiked tails. Like there's a spear on the end. And then just a normal tail with nothing on it. And a lot of different kinds.
You're also finding a lot of books at the library about dragons, too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite?
Wings of Fire.
Wings of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
You think everybody should read it?
Yes!
Everybody should read it. There you go. That's our book review for today. All right. Let's see. What colors? That one's red.
And I might have a suggestion.
What?
If you don't want the colors to get all mixed up, you could use a Sharpie to outline it.
Ah! I think what I'll do, I think mine's going to be green. And I'm going to use the dark green to outline him and the light green to color him. What do you think?
Nice.
Does that work? Okay. How do you decide what colors you're going to use in your dragon?
Usually I think what kind of dragon it is and what power it has.
Oh, they have powers.
Mm-hmm. Some can breathe fire, some can, I think they're poisonous. Some maybe can just breathe underwater or have a different something like that.
Okay. Can any of them turn invisible like Pete's dragon?
Yes.
Can any of them talk like Pete's dragon?
Don't know.
If I sing too much of that, we'll violate copyright, so we'll stop right there.
And also, some can have different kinds of colored fire.
There's different colors of fire?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want mine breathing fire. I'm kind of out of paper for him to breathe fire. If he breathes fire, he's going to burn the table. It's going to go right off the paper.
Some people might put a lot of scales on, but I don't.
Do you remember the dragon in The Hobbit?
Yes, I liked him. He looked like a big kitty. His face looked like a kitty.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be likable, though.
And then some dragons can just float without even having wings.
In the air?
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
I don't know, I guess they just have magic like that.
Whoa. So you really just woke up one day, you saw a dragon, and went, I like those.
Yeah, at least
Okay.
from what I remember.
Well, how did you get interested in all the other mythicals?
Well, because after dragons, I then heard about griffins, and I liked those, and then I liked watching the My Little Pony magical thing, and I started to like more magical creatures.
Okay.
Magical. And then I liked all the powers and stuff. You know, stuff.
It's kind of fun to imagine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I once made a kraken. A kraken. You know what those are, right?
I thought they were called krakens.
Kraken, whatever.
Okay.
I made it, and, well, it was basically a squid kind
Right.
of thing.
It's a large, yeah.
And it had, a bird beak with 3 eyeballs.
Oh my goodness. Do you think part of the fun of dragons and mythicals is that you can make them whatever you want?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is Madeline's dragon, and this is the dragon that resulted from her teaching me how to draw one and telling me all about the fantastic world of... Yes, thank you.
I'm trying to feel my face.
Well, you can lower it. You can put it down. There we go. Dragons that can fly, and dragons that can swim, and some that can't do anything but run along the ground. Some breathe fire, and some turn invisible. What else did I learn?
They could float without...
Some can float. They can just woo up into the air, woo, and off they go. And also, that yellow makes a really good color for an underbelly.
They can also teleport.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I forgot.
The video is almost done, and now you're telling me exciting new... Now, before we go, what are some other mythicals? Because you talked about the griffin and the kraken, or kraken. What else is there?
There are... Oh my.
Unicorns?
Yes, and then there are unicorns, alicorns, and pegasi.
Wait, what's an alicorn?
An alicorn is a flying unicorn, and then a pegasi is just a flying horse.
Okay.
I've also learned, I don't know if this is...
I thought it was a pegasus.
Well, pegasi is for a whole group of them.
Okay, plural.
But I don't know if this is actually what it's called, but there's a stonegator. It's a chicken with the body of a snake. And if it stares at you, it turns you into stone.
Oh, wait, a chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a reptile called a basilisk, and that turns you into stone also. Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
I think this is what it's called, but there's another person, I think her hair is snakes.
Yes, I know what she's called. Do you?
Medusa.
Very good. Okay, head of chicken. What was the other one?
And body of snake.
A cockatrice. Cockatrice? Cockatrice? Let's see.
I also know that there are two kinds of phoenixes.
Two kinds of phoenixes?
There's a fire phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fire bird. And then there's an ice phoenix. It's an ice bird.
I have never heard of the ice bird. Here's one for you. It's called the chimera. It's got the head of a lion and the head of a goat sticking out its back. I know.
I also know about one. I don't know what it's called. It's basically like that. Only all three heads are sticking out. It's a lion. I think the main part of it is a lion.
Okay.
And it's got a snake and a goat head.
Well, it's the same thing. Some artists draw it a little differently, but that's how it's supposed to look.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
right.
that weird? So that's today's lesson about dragons and how to draw them with Madeline Johnson. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit the like button. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you'll get notices about each new upload. Although, so far, I am on track to be able to say every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, now that I've said that, something will go wrong and I will miss a week and you will all get upset at me. But anyway, there's that. Yes, you goon. All right. So, I'm Brian Johnson. This is Nobody You Know, only now you do.